Alright, keep up the good work, boy. I have 211 minutes. So I have been a mechanical engineer for the past 7 years, and I thought it would be a great idea to make a video on what are the things that can really make a good engineer. Now, I can think of at least 3 things that can make an engineer really exceptional. Number 1 is teamwork. Now, as soon as you go into engineering after your studies, you will soon find out that you are not alone. During your studies, you had to do all your assignments by yourself. But when you go into a company, you see that there are people who are dependent on you, and you are dependent on many other people to do your tasks. So it's really important that you are able to communicate with other people and then also able to effectively understand what they want from you. A good way to improve your team building skills is to take part, for example, in sports or any group activities regularly, because they will teach you how to depend on others and then how to communicate with others if you need something from them. The ability to handle pressure. This is also very important, because during your tasks, during your projects, there are going to be a lot of time where everybody will be expecting something from you in a very short amount of time. And being an engineer, there is hardly any room for you to make mistakes, because anything that you do is going into the public sphere. For example, I work in automotive, and there is no room for me to make any kind of mistake in a haste. So that is where your ability to handle pressure comes in. It also means that you need to be able to negotiate. For example, if there is something that you feel that needs more time, and it will be more beneficial that you take more time right now instead of delivering it, as they say, in like 5 hours, then you should take your time and negotiate it effectively to say that, okay, if I do it right now, then there is a possibility that there are going to be mistakes, there are going to be problems which will end up taking more time. Third, and possibly the most important skill apart from these two before, is curiosity. If you're not able to work in teams, then this is something that you can develop. If you are not able to handle pressure, then you can develop this. But curiosity is something that you are born with, and you have to cultivate it, you have to nurture it. Now, it might seem a very cliche point, but since I've been working as an engineer for 7 years, I can see it actually happening in front of my eyes. When you're a new engineer, you get out into a new company, you're obviously very curious because you are seeing things for the first time. You're like a child born into the world, and everything is exciting and everything seems to be beautiful. But then as soon as you work into a company or many different companies, you start things to be less interesting, similar to when we grow up from being a child. But difference between a good engineer and a great engineer comes from this aspect of curiosity. A great engineer is always curious, even if there are things that don't necessarily need to be investigated, they will always try to be one step ahead to find out how they work, even if it's not necessarily their responsibility. So that is something that I feel that I sometimes lack myself as well, because things start to become normalized and then they become boring. But it always takes an effort to create and to cultivate curiosity in everything that you do. I guess what I am saying is, when you grow up, if you want to become a really good engineer, then you need to bring the child out in you, and you need to make it learn anything. Also, You need to be able to talk to women. You're pretty much gonna die alone if you don't learn that.